Dave with Sailing Boreas. I'm going to do a little review on our 4452 Singer. We did our first canvas project with it last night and this morning. I chose a bag from Sailrite to do as a test. I did not buy their kit. I had the sunbrella fabric, and I went to our local fabric store here and picked up all the little components, webbing. So there's some design changes from what they have. It's pretty minor. They use 2-inch webbing. I used 1.5 inches. A lot of my hardware is just what was locally available. So a lot of my D-rings, things like that, they had nylon D-rings. What was available here was all basically steel, stainless. So I had all the YKK zippers, number 5 instead of number 10. So there was some minor changes, design changes on this thing. But the little machine handled it pretty well. So I chose this because basically on the bottom of the bag here, the bottom is pleated. It has a 1/4 inch layer of foam in the inside here. A layer of webbing, 2 layers of sunbrella in the bottom. In the side pockets, it has a couple layers of webbing. The inside has a double pocket in it. So there's several layers of material here throughout most of this construction on this bag. So some of the heaviest parts of the bag that we really wanted to see how it was going to handle it is basically right here on the tops of the pocket. This has a double rolled hem on it, so it's 3 layers of fabric thick right here. Rolled into the corner here, it's doubled over onto its side. There's actually 7 layers right here with 2 rolls of bonding tape inside of it. It did struggle, but it did it. I didn't have to hand feed any of this. I did, however, have to just go slow, take my time. Don't push the machine past its limitations. It is not a commercial machine by any means, but it does a very nice job. Most of the stitching is well done. Has no problems with the stitching. The one problem place that I did have was right here on the inside of the bag. So when I put the 2 layers of webbing through the bag, push through the zipper, this has 3 passes inside here where it puts all this together inside the bag. This right here is where the machine basically struggled really bad. I did have to hand feed this forward and back to get this to do the work across this. This is the only place on this entire bag that I actually had to hand feed the whole joint and whole section of what I was doing in this. 3 layers of webbing, 1 layer of sunbrella. It struggled a little bit, but it still did it quite well. Overall, build quality on what it does for sewing work, very nice. Okay. Does an extremely nice job on webbing. I had very little feed problems, a couple minor things. Most of the minor stuff that I had go wrong with the sewing machine was Singer's walking foot. It had several burrs and little hiccups in it. I went through and had to clean it out and fix it to finish the project. It worked really good for about the first hour, and then I started having problems, and so I went and fixed it and put it back in. I haven't had any more problems since I did that. So I'm going to insert some build photos of this, a couple small videos on some of the stuff that we did. But I've run several pillowcases through it, a couple other garments, and several other little projects here and there through this, and it's run pretty flawlessly. So one of our setups on this thing basically is a spool. Yeah, we got a big spool for this thing to be able to run nylon thread. Spool stand. This basically is set up for small standard household spools. So you have to add a spool stand to be able to do upholstery work or upholstery spools. This setup works pretty good. The stands These are little cheapos. It's nothing special. It's actually threaded all the way down, and it's loose. I actually had to crimp it with a pair of pliers to get it to hold together. But it works for what we're doing. For all the cushion and upholstery work that we're going to do inside the boat, it should work fine. But for basic necessities of what the machine is, it should do everything we want it to do. So my first project after this should be my outboard cover. That's what I have here at the house. And maybe I can get to where I get my hands on my sail cover and rebuild the sail cover and do a new sail cover here in the next week or so. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like, share, and subscribe.